All right. Hello, the world. Hello, YouTubers. You are watching my Booster Motivation. My name is Ian George, aka EG, and we're about to spend a good period of time together in this live training session. And keep in mind that my Booster Motivation is the only YouTube channel in the world that provides free live training session. And each time we get a chance to be with you on the road trip at open my set. So sometimes I'm on the road, sometimes I'm not on the road. Because I try to do it like that. Um, my schedule is really my schedule is really a busy schedule, and but I have to provide this content. I have to share with you the knowledge, the insights that I want to share with you because I want my audience to have the best of it, and I want people who follow us on this YouTube channel to become very successful. So uh, I manage between when I'm on the road, moving from one location to another one, that I can actually doing a live training session on the car. But sometimes when I'm not on the road, but I'm still working, and I might not be on the road so early, so I keep continuing to produce um, content, to produce video, to serve you. So um, you always if you start for the first time, it's it's very important that you subscribe, you hit the bell button. My booster motivation, we work with two areas. We help you work with your mind to become wealthy. That means we do everything possible to help you identify the energy that within you, and to use it to the best, uh, to use it at best for your benefit and help you to grow. This is where we are. So how we proceed, we got people that watching this channel, and they send us email, comments, and comment lines, and we read them, we do follow up with them. So this video that we are producing now is to address some people in the audience that ask us uh, two specific questions. Um, the first question is, and they ask us, some people ask us, from the point stand where I'm come from, that is where people ask us where I'm come from. I'm not famous, so I don't grow up in a wealthy family, and how can become successful? Okay, how can I can become successful? Other people said to us, um, I got this thing happen in my life, this thing happened in my life. I've been experienced rough moment, difficult time. It's very difficult for me to become successful. So from this, when I combine these two questions together, and I was thinking about it, and I said, what is the best opportunity to address these two questions together in one video? So that's why we entitled this video "Your Personal Story Worth More Than 1 million." Um, if you follow me, you will understand exactly why we frame this title like that, and why we answer these two questions in in that particular manner. So here we go. So without wasting your time and my time, grab something to take notes, because we are about to spend a run of 1 hour a year, and we are live. You have the opportunity to chat with us, to put some comment, things like that, and you can at least at the same time you can share this video to other people, that other people can take advantage of it. Okay. Uh, when we say your personal story, worth more than 1 million. What we mean by that? Very often people are complaining about the situation. They complain about where they come from. They complain about um, the lack of support they have from their family, and they complain about they grow up in inner city and a low income family housing project like United States or other country. They might call it a different name, but they complain about the situation. And I was reading this morning an article, and that was amazing. A guy who living in public housing, um, public housing project, and this guy managed himself to build a portfolio of business of 27 million US dollars. Okay, it's a guy that had been working on public housing subsidies, and then he was totally broke, and then before he get evicted from his house, that's why he went to live in the housing subsidies, and then from there he was like he couldn't find job. He tried the best of possibility that he can find. He looking for a job everywhere, and he couldn't find a job. And the project where he was living, people always fighting and stuff like that, and the staff couldn't give them service. So he started a security initiative, and then he secured the office, and then people like what he did. He went to create an LLC, and he created a security company, and then from this building he find contract from other buildings, from different buildings, and after that he created another catering hospitality like food delivery business, and from there he create another business that is a car service delivery business, and he managed that for a run of 7 years, and he accumulated a wealth of $27 million. Okay, what is the point? What is the catch? That the question you ask yourself. Why I'm telling you this story? I'm telling you this story to 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 emphasize for you a specific point. No matter where you are, no matter where you come from, no matter what is your situation, there is something in you that is valuable. And if you use your mind, you will find it. And there is another thing that belongs to you that is really valuable, which is your story. What is your story? Your story is everything, every detail that happened into your life. This is your story. And your story is your personal legend. Everybody have their personal legend. So if you're facing a situation now, right now, and you're watching my booster motivation that I always tell people, you have to deliver a product or a service on the marketplace, that or you start producing that, or you will become wealthy. Okay, furthermore, to produce, to put on the marketplace a product or a service, you have to think, because everything comes from the thinking process. Okay, everything in the universe comes from a thinking process. I'm talking about in our dimension. Okay, you think first, and from your thinking you have a clear vision, a clear picture about what you want, and from there you realize your dream. So for some reason, okay, people have a tendency to self-labelize themselves. So say, I came from a modest family. My situation, I come from small town, things like that. My situation is not good. I'm in my family. People fight all the time, things like that. I live in a town, in a country. I'm not proud of it. Okay, in uh, many things in in that manner. People always complain about their own situation, and they never take the time to analyze and understand the situation, because each situation you are living in, okay, are the result from different type of decision made before, either by your parents, your countrymen and women, your teachers, the college, the high school, the college you attended, the social group that you interact with. All these things shape your personality, and from every angle of what I what I just described, you will meet people, new people, and you will establish rapport with them. That's when you will become friends. You will become friends. You will have people to talk, people to interact, and you will be you feel happy, and you will feel that you are integrated, that you live in a community that people care about you and people care for you. This is what the situation is. However, however, when people explain or justify themselves about the situation, but they always miss one part. Your situation didn't build up from overnight. It takes time to shape the way it is. The process of you came from this level and you start moving around to the top, okay, or you've been on the top, you start scrolling down to the bottom, or you be in the middle and then you never be on the top, you never be on the bottom, but you still have a story because you connect with your other fellow men and women, and you execute stuff, you realize stuff. Okay. Now, when we put all these elements on the table, okay, and when we start putting the parts together, connecting the dots, we realize that we have a story. I have a story, this which is my personal legend, and you have a story which is your story, your personal legend, and everybody else have a story. If they think about the story, they can write it down or record it on their phone, and then you recording device because they know they got a story. Now, what happened? People, because of lack of confidence and shame, many people do not like share the story. Okay, when you don't share your story, you lose money. Why there? Why there? You lose money because your story, when something happened to you, bad or good, okay, it's become part of you because what happened will be subject, okay, for a story because you will have to report it to somebody else and somebody else and somebody else, and then you got a people might have a reputation of you or you got something like that. But it's all these components, these little elements, these little details, these little incident, these little action, these little decision that you took on your life will shape your personal story. This is your personal story. Now, your personal story might be never told. Many people die and they never share anything about their life to anybody, and indeed they forget them. Or many people will never die because when they're living, they share the story with other people, and from generation to generation, they will consume. Okay, they will get access to his book, his content, and they will have their own opinion about it. Doesn't mean at that time when they took the decision that was the best time, but it will effectively change their mind because um, somebody have a story that person never told. Okay, so this is what it's beautiful. Okay, don't see your story, okay, as a pill of joke, as something too personal that you want to keep it with you. Okay, see your story as a potential economical value for you. See your story as a potential, okay, as a potential prize, literature prize that you can have. See your story as a potential scenario for a movie. See your personal story as a scary thing because we all going to be 6 feet down one day. Okay, if I talk like that, it's not. I'm. It's just to tell you that that story, this part of your life, okay, the thing that you never said to anybody, or the thing that you keep for yourself, even they bother you, even they bring you to depression, you're still not talking about them. All these things, this craziness, and this beating, this losing money in the casino, this acting crazy in college and high school and middle school, all these things. Okay, all these little details they happen in somebody in a circle, and nobody knows about it. But if you decide one day that you will share to the world with the world what you know, what will happen? Two things will happen. Either you try and they don't like you and you're out, or either you never try, but you keep talking about it and you will still be inappropriate. Okay, that makes sense to you. Your story is an asset. Actually, your story is money sitting here in your mind and you never put it at work for you. When you are young and you are probably don't have access to capital, if I don't want to say broke, okay, and you want to become wealthy and money is an issue for you, what do? You write a book, okay? You write a non-fiction book and talking about your personal story or a story that you know. And then you can become a writer, you can become a narrator because you will explain the story to other people, and you can become a person who writes script for movies or a person in the movie that see your silhouette and said, this is important, I gotta bring I gotta bring this girl or this boy alive because what is inside the story, it's part of your life. Okay, parts of the human being who own the story life. Now, if you put everything together and you start writing down for 30 minutes every night, very soon we have so many things to tell, or so many story to tell, and you will have to cut on them because you will find it's too long. Okay, here you got a book ready to sell because when the book will hit the market, you never know. There are many people that think like you, that act like you, and they are in the closet. They don't want people to know what they're doing, or they are too afraid to confront the reality to be different. So you will find people that will help you in your way to become successful. But you have to start with something. And the best way to start is write a book. If you don't have money, you go on Amazon, you write a book, edit your book, publish it, and Amazon will publish it for you anytime they sell a book. And every 3 months, they will give you the royalty. And then it's cool. That was a white man behavior. But what is the behavior of the minority, the Spanish, the Latinos, the Chinese, things like that? Same behavior, same thing. They think they have, they're facing difficulty and they never think they have a story. Some people they live with the grandmother, they live with the grandkids. Some people they live in I remember one night I had the tires blow up. I was driving on Brooklyn and I had to stop an emergency stop until I find somebody to fix the tires. And by the time I was there and I see people living in this building, and I was so amazed, I balanced between them. And before I left, they ever asked me, they never asked me, what is your story? Okay? Why? Because I didn't tell them that I have a story. Now, when you start telling people you have a story, people will want to listen to you, and your story will become can become part of somebody else's life. But you got to tell your story, okay? You got to explain to people what happened to you. If you experience failure, difficulty, adversity to learn something new or to do something new, what you do, you learn. You learn and you understand. But when you learn, you understand the process, you don't do the same mistake. And then you keep your knowledge for you into your mind, into your tablet, into your cell phone. It's not good. You got to bring that idea out. You got to put that idea at service of other people. One of the best thing to do is write a book. You write a book about yourself, your story. And most of the most beautiful book that touch many people are things that is in you that worth more than $1 million. Like Chicken Soup for the Soup. What does that mean, Chicken Soup for the Soup? It's a book full of little, full of story, you know, full of people um, explain a story. Okay, how to influence people. Dal Carnegie wrote a book, say how to influence people and win friends. It is a story. That is story. Okay, you can write your own story. Okay, your own story. It's a things that you see every day and write something. Produce a piece of literature. Okay, literacy. Okay, write about something like that will give you the potential to make money because you will have a book, you will have something to offer to the world. So if you do not have money, okay, you don't go on other people's bags to get money, but you get a job, put your things together to earn money. Okay, you earn money. Now, what do you do when you to earn money? You gotta create a protocol service. But today we are talking about a service and a product. Reading is a product because you can be help people achieve their goal and things like that. But on the other hand, you got you. Okay, what is on your mind? What happened to you? Okay, why you have two kids? Why you are a single mother? Why you are a one of 40? You never date anybody and you live different, awkward. Why somebody is quiet? Why somebody is loud? Why when you move in another place you feel different vibes and things like that. When you start asking yourself these questions, you will find out really quickly that this is your story. Okay, your story become part of you, become a shadow, and you accept it, you embrace it. But what about other people? Okay, they have their own story too. If they do the same thing, we don't have communion. People will not be close to each other. Okay, okay. Your best friend, what do you tell them? You tell them your story. Okay. Sometimes your mama, your father call you all the time because they want to hear from you. They want to know. They want to know your story. Okay. Now, the only thing you have is tell people your story in a nice professional way that's been put them on a book and self-publish or find a publisher, publish this book, and along the years you will earn a lot of money because when more people know your book, when more people talking about your book, that's the money is. So do not complain about things like I come from different places, things are difficult for me, and so far and so on. You got possibility, okay? You got possibility. You don't take advantage of it, okay? This is very important to understand that your your personal story worth more than $1 million, and even if not a story that you had lived and then you put on paper, okay? You can read Harry Potter, for example, and then you make a report. Okay, you make a, you of the book and you sell it, you got a new story of the book. You got a you understand a new point of view of the book, and that can be sold, and that can be sold in the marketplace. Now, everything can be sold, but some people they just think about complaining. Where I'm gonna do, where the business will come from, etc. You have the business. Your life is your business, all right? Tell the story about your life. Tell the story about people in your family. I'm sure you can find people in your family that are really funny. Okay, talk about them, and then bring your story to life. Right? A science fiction novel is that, and the 80s was talking about they're flying into space and they talk on something that look like the Star Wars movie, stuff like that. Okay, it's a it's a story. Okay, when you go to the theater, you watch a beautiful movie. It's a story. Somebody write a story. Okay? When you watch a fiction novel, somebody write a story about what that person have in their imagination, and most likely it's because their imagination is not clear that they can't see their opportunity, they can't see there is here a possibility to become different because you got a story, you sell your story, people know about your story, they will invite you for lecture, they will invite you and radio show, television show, things like that. But tell your story, okay? Don't stop complaining. You've been homeless, and then write a story when you are homeless, expecting that one day you will have your apartment. And when you get your apartment, you show people, you show people your story, part of your story, what did you accomplish, and they will give you the respect you deserve because you create something for society. Okay. Now, I don't know what is your story, what you have been living your life. It's been difficult for you. If you got people in your family that reject you, things like that, that make your story, that make your life difficult, and you never write anything that happened to you in a journal on a daily basis. If you do that, you will already have your story start. If you never do that, you take some few word, a few word, and you build. You take a few word and you use those words to explain what happened to you, and when you explain what happened to you, it's become a story. Okay, story. Okay, now how can you be proud about your story? Doesn't matter if you're proud or not proud. You know, if your story is sad, difficult, and you're not proud of it, okay, you just work, do your work, do your job. People will might not buy anything from you. They might not like you at all because they don't know who you are. They feel you as a stranger, as a person who have difficulty. Why? You don't tell your story. When you meet people and if at the party, at the gym, and the cultural stuff, you present yourself and you start talking to them, and by 2 or 5 minutes, and you already start telling them your story. Now, you just throw money away. You have to have a story, and your story can be sold. Can be sold. Now, which platform you will use to write your story? It's up to you. You can write, you can publish your music, you can publish something, but you have to be thinking that you worth more than $1 million. You don't know it because you got so many stories, so many things that you can say. And if you talk about them and you put them in a book, it will be the widest thing that you can do. It will be the most beautiful things that you can do because your story matter. Okay, no matter what happened, your story matter because you're not from this country, you're from a different country. You got something that you see, and that become a story. That can become a story. That's not mean that it should be your story. It can be anybody else's story because when you care about people's story, you care about them, you care about yourself, and you can talk openly about it, and that will drag audience, and you will become quietly successful because you think different. You have a story, and you tell people, you explain people around the world your story, that they can avoid the same mistake you did in the past. So my point is, do you see the difference? Do you see that you live in a time land like South Africa, and you never explain to the world what is happening in South Africa? Right? When you open the TV, they show you some poor country. These are people living, and you never tell your story. Why you have a doctorate? Why you have a license, a diploma, okay, a college degree, and literacy? Why? Why? If you go at the wall to talk, well, you got a story. Huh? Tell people about your story because your story can bring you $1 billion if your story go to the right person, to the right ears. So this is it. That's what I was thinking about to share with you, and I give you the insights, the knowledge that you need to become successful. Right? If you don't have nothing to start and you start complaining, start by telling your story, and people will pay you to listen to your story. In the radio, physical, like we are live, and some other places. But you got a story. Okay? You got a story. Your story is your first asset in the industry. So write your story, put your story together, and keep in mind that anytime you don't tell your story, you don't write anything about your story, you don't publish anything about your story, you don't write a movie or documentary about your story, you just throw money out the windows because it's a waste of time. My name is El Josh, AKEG. That was a pleasure for me to share this little talk with you, and I hope you like it. I will see you on the next video. Thank you.